From that day, we share cafe lattes. Ooh, cafe lattes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of Having a Lovely Chat. He is the most requested guest, actually. A few people have mentioned it. And my first relation to come on, he's my brother-in-law, Mr. Darius Kierans. How are you, pal?
Oh, good.
Are you all right, man?
Yeah,
Thanks
good.
for coming in.
Good to be here.
Yeah, a few people actually did ask me to get you on. And I think it's obviously you have a pretty interesting story. Bit of a man about town, do you know what I mean? Everyone knows the name. So yeah, I just wanted,
Infamous.
I think you have a pretty. I already know the story, but I'd say a lot of people don't. So I know a lot of the story, maybe not at all. And I just think you have a very powerful story to share. But before we start talking, I guess give yourself a little introduction of who you are.
My name's Darius Kierans. I'm born and raised in Drogheda. I'm married to Dottie's sister Lisa.
Yeah.
We've 4 children. And I walk and I keep life simple at the minute.
Yeah, it wasn't always simple though.
No, it wasn't always. This year really it's been simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's been tough times like everyone, I suppose.
Yeah.
Life.
And how are you feeling good now?
Yeah, I've probably had the best year of my life, I would say. You know?
Really?
Yeah. It's, my life has slowed down in my head, so.
Good.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, it was just funny we were talking there before, but it's different now. Many's a late night we had.
Many's a late night up talking for hours.
Hours. Bottles of data. Over COVID, the whole shebang.
COVID, that was. But listen, we built many skyscrapers over COVID.
Yeah. And it all came grumbling down. Yeah. But so before we get into anything too deep or any of that, let's talk a bit about your football career, because I think you've a fairly big name in the football scene in Ireland. So
I wouldn't say I have a big name.
You do. A lot of people. Come on, don't be modest.
Yeah, no, I would have. I played football. Probably was my first obsession was football. I obsessed about being a professional footballer from a very, very young age, and I put everything into being a professional footballer. I made a lot of sacrifices when I was younger. And I had a problem with my knee from I was 12 years of age. My knee was my cartilage was slipping out of place. And at the time, they didn't know what it was. They were telling me there was nothing wrong with me. And I'd be playing a game and I'd slip, my cartilage would slip and I'd be screaming. And then I could just kind of pop it back in. Yeah. And I was getting x-rays, scans, and they were like, there's something...
From 12?
From 12, and they were saying, there's something wrong with this kid. The manager, I could see the managers, Paddy Mooney and Mick Fairclough used to manage me at the time, and they were so good to me, the boys. But I could see them throwing their eyes in the air. They were like, there's nothing wrong with him again. He'll be up in a minute, which I would be. But at the time, I was agony, and when I was 16 then, I was playing with Belvedere, and it slipped, my cartilage ripped in half. So that was happened at 16. Then I was back with Drogheda United. It happened again when I was 70, and I was actually in around the first team with Drogheda United. And I played a friendly with the under-18s, and I was meant to go up to Irish training on the Wednesday, and it happened again then. I was 17, and then again when I was 19. So my playing career was over.
That.
Yeah, and then I was probably lost for a few years, to be honest. And I started coaching. Then when I was about 27, I became academy director in Drogheda United. The only kind of it was actually your team.
Yeah, that's right.
First Drogheda boys team. Yeah, Conor Motor, Kevin
all
McCann,
the boys,
all
shout
the
out
lads.
to the lads.
Yeah, Bunna Murphy, Gaz McGrain, Dottie McGatton, never came.
Never, I didn't, mate. I retired.
You found the pubs.
I found rock and roll.
You found rock and roll, and it was a great team. So we kind of took that team from Drogheda boys, and they came into Drogheda United under 17s, and there was a great team, a great bunch of lads. We got beaten in the FAI Cup final, and I kind of got the bug for coaching, managing. I started then doing my badges, and I was academy director for a few years. Then I went on, and I obviously managed Drogheda United for a period in Dundalk.
Yeah.
As assistant manager with St. Pat's for a good few years as well, and then I was obviously managing Glebe North. So
it's good. It's pretty. And which was your favourite? What can you say?
No,
you kind of liked them all, probably.
Yeah, I loved them all. I loved Drogheda United. It's I learned a lot up there on the Paul Doolin in 2007. Drogheda United winning leagues, Paul Doolan's brilliant coach, you know, and I learned so much from him. Sammy Restiller, and it was Drogheda was professional, you know, they'd won the league. Dundalk, I've obviously strong affiliation with Dundalk, keeping them up in 2012. You know, and they don't forget that up there, you know.
Well, talk to us a little bit about that, though. So you are a bit of a legend with Dundalk, would you say?
No, look, I've good friends in Dundalk, and they, you know, I've been assistant with Ian Foster in 2011, and we got to the St. Anthony Cup final. We had a very good team, but we had a small squad, and you know, we kind of gambled in terms of players. You know, we went with a smaller squad, high-end player with Jason Bourne, Simon Madden, Colin Hawkins, Greg Bulger. We had a brilliant Mark Quigley. We had a brilliant 11, Daniel Kierans, but what happened was we 13, 14, with a lot of young lads, good young lads, Mark Griffin, Johnny Breen, but we got 4 or 5 injuries mid-season and it killed us. So Ian left at the end of the year, and he told me, listen, you applied for the job, and I applied for it. But he gave it to Sean McCaffrey. Sean was the Irish under-18 manager, and I was Sean's assistant. And then Sean left in August that year, and we were having a bad year. We were struggling at the bottom of the table. The club, they were going to close the doors of the club. And so I had to let a lot of players go. It was my job. So, you know, I couldn't lose the job. If they closed the club, I was at work as well. I was full-time. So, we let a lot of players go, and then we stayed up in the playoff against Waterford, and you know, they were tough times. It was a difficult couple of months, but it was great to keep the club alive. Was probably the most important thing, and then because it's a massive club, Dundalk.
What's happened with them now?
I don't know. I don't know. Kieran Kilduff is staying there. I coach Kieran at St. Pat's. Great fella, Kieran, doing really well. I think there's been a takeover today.
Okay, right.
So
right.
I could be wrong,
Right,
but
right,
I don't
right,
know.
right.
I've heard. Look, the ship was steady last year. They got back promoted, but they need investment. You know, a lot of teams are coming up and down from the first division to the Premier Division, and you need investment. But I think there's a new owner, from what I'm told.
Okay.
So listen, I'm a Drogheda man. I love Drogheda United. I want to see Dundalk do well, always and ever. I'm probably in a peculiar position. But I've great memories in both places, and you know, Drogheda's my hometown, and the people of Drogheda have been so good to me. But I also love Dundalk.
Yeah, and what do you think about the Irish football? Like, it needs investment, obviously.
It needs investment from the government. I think, you know, for me, you know, there's a lot of the League of Ireland teams now have academies down to under 13s. The facilities need to improve across the board. It's going to take investment from the government, but they
don't get anything at the moment, do they?
This year was the first year. I think they've granted 3 million across all the clubs, which is small, but it's a start. That can grow year on year.
Yeah, 3 million across
like,
all. It's not
you
much,
take this year, like if Mason Melia went to Tottenham Hotspur, I think it's 1.8 million, or, you know, and then it'll be add-ons if he plays with the first team.
Yeah.
But that money's coming back into the country.
Yeah. You
know, so if you get Victor, has gone from Victor's way to under 17s, plays with Shamrock Rovers. He's gone to Arsenal for 2 million, raising to 4. These are the suspected, alleged figures. I'm not sure, but anyway, if you can get, you know, if the government invest in the academies and coaching structure and right down to grassroots, and we've more players coming through, and you've a Mason Melia going for 7 million, 8 million. You've Victor going for 9 million. You've 3 or 4 a year.
Yeah, I know what
That's
you mean.
20 million coming back into the country, or 30 million, or, you know, it'll offset. It's money coming back into the country. You know, Denmark have done it that way. I've listened to.
There's a lot of things we should be following Denmark on.
Yeah, but like, and they were getting players, you know, were going for 1 million, and now all of a sudden it's 15 million. You know, but you know, it takes time, and you know, there's so many kids who dream of being a professional footballer, and you know, there's only a small percentage that will make it, you know. But at the same time,
if you had a good enough home league, I guess you could probably
I think we're seeing, you know, you see the Ireland under 17s at the minute, and
they're in the last 32.
32, yeah,
but
they're a good team. Like,
are they?
Yeah, they're a good team. They've players. They've probably, I think, you know, Vinnie Leonard's playing with Dundalk. He's an exceptional centre half, playing with Dundalk first team. You know, when he's played all year. He's been excellent. You've Michael Noonan, which played with Shamrock Rovers. I think he's 8 or 9 goals, Michael. Victor has gone signed with Arsenal. All the way through, those lads that's playing senior football, and they've come through academies in Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, I think most 90 small percent of the squad come through academies in Ireland, so they've come through the system. So with greater infrastructure, more contact hours from a younger age, more money, then kind of it has to be, you have to coincide it with school, because so many of them won't make footballers.
Yeah, of course.
You know, but I think that this under 17 team has kind of shown the way, you know, because we're into the last 32 and they've hopes of going deep in it.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, they've hopes of going deep. I think if we can see the one goal in 3 games, please God, we do well, and then it's like, right, you know.
Yeah, because with the way we're at the minute with our actual the men's football team, no, I know we're playing Portugal now, but like I can't really see. I don't know. We could be lucky, but like, yeah, when you remember back, we always had a decent team, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like we had a lot of players. You
had players, big players.
Like when you look, even when we started, 80s kind of 6 Jack Charlton European Championships, like it, you know, John Aldridge, Ray out, they're playing with Liverpool winning league titles. Mark Lawrence and Paul McGrath, one of the best centre halves ever.
Yeah,
so, you know, so we had the players. I think the last generation was probably the generation that I played with, which was Damien Duff and, you know, Robbie Keane, that kind of. But that was the last of the street footballer generation.
Yeah.
You know, it's, for me, it coincides. The football at senior level dropping with generations has coincided with money coming into the country. You know, when we were younger, you know, they talk about contact hours with the ball. We had thousands of contact hours. You know, because it's all we've done. I know the roads are busier now, and it's not as. But that's what it's got to be. You know, it's massive sacrifice. And, you know, you ask Damien Duff, Robbie Keane, you know, Stephen McPhail, anyone from that generation who coached them as kids, they'll tell you they learned on the street.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So I don't know. It's there needs to be more contact hours. There needs to be. It's going to come down to investment. You know, and it's going to take time. But I think, you know, there's some serious working on with the League of Ireland clubs underage. Some great people. John O'Donoghue and Jordan United's doing a great job.
Yeah,
Shane Grimes.
Harley and Kevin's, they're doing really well.
Kevin's are a fantastic schoolboy club. Yeah, Harley's up there, and look, he's up there 2 years, 3 years. He's really enjoying it. The great people in St Kevin's, Crumlin, all these schoolboy clubs. You know, the people. You know, St Kevin's. You've Ken Dunnett and Alan Caffrey's there, and in Crumlin, Martin Loughlin. These lads are involved in schoolboy football. They've seen, you know, Robbie Brady, Jeff Hendrick, Damien Duff, they've come through all these clubs, and they put so much time into it, and they've done it with such small resources initially, but it needs all the way through investment. So hopefully now, the under 17s to go to this competition.
It's always a good thing when something like that happens, and then it shines the light on it as well.
Yeah,
you know,
it will. Well, they're all homegrown players. There's none of
exactly.
them. You know, years ago you used to go to the UK when you were 16. That's done.
Yeah,
you don't go. You can't go to the UK now with Brexit. Now there is players in some of the academies going to, you know, Portugal or Spain or Germany, because they're in the EU, so they can go at 16.
Okay, right.
But you can't go to the UK now. You know, say Gary Kelly or Ian Hart, any of the boys here, they went at 16.
Why can't you go at 16?
Because Brexit. You can't go to the UK when you're 18. But it's kind of it's benefiting them in a way. You know, Michael Noonan, for example, with the under 17s, he's played senior football with Shamrock Rovers and scored 8-9 goals. If he was in the UK with, be it Man City, be it Liverpool, be it a championship team, he wouldn't have played senior football yet.
Okay.
And, you know, and for me, the quicker you play senior football, the quicker you develop.
Yeah. Just as stronger.
Yeah, the physicality. You'll see kids that's brilliant the whole way through, get to senior, it takes them 2 or 3 years, or they might not, you know. There's just so many different permutations.
And what about, how's Glebe going?
Glebe North are going good.
Shout out to the Glebe boys. Danny
Coyle, Danny's doing a great job.
And,
Podge Barrett and Pat Campbell, obviously had to step away last year, and the boys are doing really well. We've a lot of young players that's going to come through the club, and then, you know, so obviously some of the lads are still there that won the FAI Cup a couple of years ago. Danny Coyle's top man. So it's in good hands. They're going well. They're challenging. They're up to third forward. So it's in good hands. The boys will do well.
Yeah, good, and we hope they do well. And you know, you did have to leave football and leave that behind, because I know obviously you suffered with a kind of gambling addiction. And
yeah, listen, I've you know, there's obviously I've you know, there's 6 boys in my family, and 4 of us have suffered with addiction.
Right.
You know, and for me, you know, I be it gambling or substance abuse or, you know, I never knew what was kind of wrong with me.
Right.
I always wanted more from a very young age. And my first addiction was football.
Okay.
I was obsessed with football. I loved to feel good. I loved with
The
sport.
buzz of it.
Yeah, and the ego as well.
Yeah,
the
for sure, yeah.
validation and,
Yeah.
people telling you you're great.
I still need all that. Tell me you love me.
That's why the gig's back on and
Yeah.
Stevens is like...
26 to be there and give me all the validation.
But like it's not that when you're young you play football for that, but it's an offset of
Yeah, for sure.
I could never sit. I was always, and I loved the way football. I boxed for a number of years and played Gaelic, and I loved the way sport made me feel. And then when sport stopped, when my knee, I had 3 or 4 knee replacement Thomas in my early 20s, and I was as good as finished. And it was heartbreaking for me, And so you have a massive void gone out of your life, even though like football I was chasing it, and I loved it. And,
Yeah.
You're always never content ever. I don't remember being content as a child. I was always football, Gaelic, soccer, and I thought I had to go football, I had to go Gaelic, but I couldn't sit with myself. Addiction is a dis-ease with yourself. It's a hole in your soul, really. So when I stopped playing football, I kind of started gambling. Gambling.
Coincided with that.
Coincided drinking, substance abuse. Probably not as hectic in my 20s, but it still kind of replaced it. It's now I see it. I used to go into the bookies and I'd bet and gamble, and I didn't, scoring the goal, backing a horse, substance, gives me the same feeling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's only now I seen the dopamine, and you're chasing the dopamine. I used to go to bookies, and sometimes you love losing, It's only now you don't love losing.
Right, yeah.
I used to think I was in to back horses and win money, but I wasn't. I was in to win, to get the feeling of winning.
Okay.
And you'd spend hours and hours in there, and one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. But that can manifest itself for me. Obviously I had to, after Derek died, I had to kind of, it was easy to kind of, you look for something to get out of, your thoughts and where you are in your own head. And for me, I would make my life busier or make my life more chaotic. And the more chaotic it was, I thought I was functioning. That was better because I didn't have to think about things.
Okay. Pushed it all down as such.
Suppressed it. But it's not, I did counsellor last year and she was brilliant, and I was full sure, obviously I've gone through a lot of trauma.
Yeah, for sure. Just like
family
you've lost three brothers, so.
I've lost 3 brothers, and I watched a friend of mine drown when I was 12 as well. That affected me quite badly when I was young, Emmett Nelson. I just happened to come up onto the bridge and he jumped in, so you can through a lot of trauma. But I was saying to me, I said to the counsellor, and I was chatting to the counsellor, I was convinced, I'm an addict because of what I went through. But Roy, my younger brother Roy, went through the same things I went through.
Yeah.
He's not an addict. So they don't know why. They do say trauma can be a consequence of addiction. It can speed it up, but when I put my life together, I was an addict long before I ever touched the drink, a bet, or anything else. I was an addict from I was 9 or 10, as far back as I can remember. I had that obsessive compulsive behaviour, and I could never sit in myself. It's only till this year. And the only people that can relate to it, one addict can relate to another. It's how people, NAGA, AA,
for sure,
one addict can understand another, where your heads, we think totally different, in so many ways. But there's a program out there that suppresses it. It's a disease, like addiction is a disease, and it's not the drink or the drug or the bet or the is only the solution.
Yeah.
You know, it's a disease of the mind. It's between your two ears, but it's you know, you can keep it at bay. You can, you know, I can identify with addicts and in all walks of life. You know, from you know, and addiction doesn't differentiate from classes in society.
Yeah, no,
You know,
it's everywhere. Like,
it's- yeah.
I think it's probably a bit of an epidemic at the minute with all sorts, and you know that was kind of the reason why I wanted to have you on, because I do think any stories like this will help people. You know what I mean? That when you're sharing your story, and I'm sure there's loads of people out there who would want to listen and then be like, if that DK can
Yeah.
get help, well, I'll go for it or whatever.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
you have to surrender. Like the hardest thing is, but that's the ego again.
Yeah, admitting it.
Yeah, you
Grand.
I'm not look at this covered, and you don't want to because your ego.
Yeah.
But listen, like you know, you gotta. The freedom is in the surrender, you know, and that's you've got to listen. I need help here. I'm struggling, and you know, I think that's. You know, you got to get vulnerable. You got to get honest. For me, I had to get vulnerable. I had to get honest, and you know, as in addiction, the first person you manipulate and lie to is yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. Yeah.
and you convince yourself, you convince the world.
Yeah.
You know, so but you got to get vulnerable. You got to get honest and look for help. And you know, Lisa obviously was massive. It's been a massive part. She's sent to me from God. I truly believe.
Yeah.
You know, and she's been amazing for me.
Patience of a saint.
Yeah, true. Put up with my madness, you know. But she's been so good to me, and it's just so good for me. And you know, she's seen something in me that I didn't see myself. You know,
good.
so.
No,
Yeah.
that's good. And like, so gambling was kind of your
Gambling
crutch,
was my
wasn't it?
primary addiction, yeah. And I bet.
Do you think that's one of to me, I think it's one of the worst because you can't see it. And you can just keep going. You know what I mean? Where I think there's so much you can do before you're gonna fucking
listen,
pass out. You know what I mean?
I don't
I'm
know.
not comparing it, like
yeah,
what
but
I'm
like
saying.
I'd gambling,
Yeah.
Like, you know, my addiction can manifest itself in so many ways. You know, gambling, substance abuse, but I can sit and watch Netflix, like, and I'll put on a Netflix show, and I'll go too deep. Two episodes deep, and I know everyone does a bit of this.
Yeah.
And they'll say, "I need to see what happens next."
Yeah.
I want to watch another one. You know? I'd sit there and it's 5 a.m.
Yeah,
I'd watch
I know,
the whole show in one night. You know, you put a packet of biscuits here on the table.
Eat a lot.
Me and you, this could be actually fun if we try this with you. You have some of these traits.
I know.
So you know,
You're opening up a whole can of worms here. There.
I get, yeah. Hold on. But like,
This is my therapy session, by the way. You know that? It's the real reason I wanted to.
Listen, everyone's.
Yeah.
Like, but I could open up the biscuits, and I'm not hungry, but I like the taste of them. Or the me home, you know the sweets, me home.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, the Mawams.
Mawams.
What do you call them?
Mayoms. But I could go through, you know, one. I'm only going to take 3, and I take 3.
Yeah.
Right, I need more. But it's the same thing with gambling. It's that, you know, I don't need more.
Yeah.
But I want more. And, you know, when you're, like, it's different, you're talking about sweets and stuff, and but when you put that into a bet, it's, you know, or a substance or a drink or anything, you know, you find it's the same thing where I'm doing this no matter what, you know what I mean, and I'm going to find the means and ways to get what I need, what I want. It's a very self-centered illness, you know. When it gets to a point, you only think of yourself.
Is that the point you get to, that it's like kind of uncontrollable?
Yeah, where...
Or is it like, you know, functioning and still, you know what I mean?
Listen, function is... I was functioning.
Yeah,
I was holding down a job, and
exactly.
You know, I was
like,
up and down Dublin 7 days a week, but my life was inside. I was destroyed.
Right, okay.
You know, I was absolutely destroyed, mentally, emotionally, physically. You know, I think obviously when Derek died, I was tortured.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think I would have found my way to that point anyway. I think, you know, Derek dying obviously
Kind of was tipping over the edge. Maybe.
Yeah, it probably speeded up the where I got to. You know, and listen, I'm still tortured in many ways by that event and Derek dying, but at the same time, I've learned to deal with life on a daily basis.
Okay. And what and how so do you deal with life on a daily basis in comparison to what you did?
Well, you know, you I work a program, you know, I work a
Yeah.
12-step program. You know, you have to believe, you know, people run away from a 12-step program because they hear God, and I would have been the same. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
When
yeah,
I first went into GA and going to gambling
Yeah.
meetings, and people would be talking about praying and meditating, and I'd be saying, look at them boys, what are they on about?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they're crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, the only place you will never find peace in a people, a place, or a thing. The only place you will find peace is inside.
Yeah.
You know, if we all look for it in, you know, work and jobs and people, and when I get the thing, and when I get the house, and when I get the... So probably what recovery and sobriety has learned me is to have gratitude in the day and be grateful for today, to live in the present, to hand me day over, to believe that something greater than me brought me back to sanity.
Okay.
You know, and that can be, people see a 12-step program and they think God, and they run a mile.
Yeah.
But you know, it can be the fellowship itself, the NA or GA, or it can be the flower plant. It can be
Whatever you're finding
whatever
that
your-
solace in.
whatever
as
your
such.
higher power
Yeah,
is.
sure.
For me, you know, I would have called myself an atheist this time last year. I believe in God.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I believe
Yeah.
God restored me to sanity, and you know, I would have been, when I was younger, I was quite religious and stuff. When I was younger, I was quite religious and stuff, but yeah, I would have lost my way and called myself an atheist last year.
Right.
But I'd say God has saved me. That's what I think. You know,
Wow. Why do you say that?
I just had a couple of experiences. You know, I think my darkest moment, my darkest probably point of my life, it was actually not too about a year from. Probably it was the 18th of November last
Oh
year.
yeah, well, you're a year actually sober.
Yeah,
Oh,
a year
so
sober, year sober.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. It was
yeah,
here,
all
it's
right. With
25th
a little
of
cake and everything in the house. It was lovely. And we didn't know what to sing. We were like, do we sing happy birthday? What do we sing?
Congratulations
Yeah.
and celebration.
We should have just sang happy birthday. Hey?
But look, that's the way. It's the start of a new life, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
it is. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah,
But look, I was,
100%.
so yeah, on the 18th of November last year, I was probably at my lowest point, and you know, it was the lowest point of my life ever in terms of feeling and how I was feeling inside. You know, dread, fear, shame, guilt. You know, all the emotions that you were probably pushing away for a long
sure,
time.
yeah.
You know, you're learning to, and that's the thing. It's learning to feel. You know, and sit in the feeling.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a hard thing, like.
no, but listen, I want to feel good. You know what I mean? If I'm feeling previous, I'm feeling not good, you know, I'm not happy. And I could find that in so many ways, you know, not just betting or gambling. I could ring people to make me feel good. Knowing,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I thought he's going to be in good form today. He'd ring him.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what
And
you
then
mean,
he'll
yeah.
make me feel good. So I'm constantly chasing a feeling. But yeah, I was at my lowest point. It was the 18th of November last year, and I just asked for help, and I just kind of, it's kind of probably, you know, people might think you're crazy or what was insane, you know, just
Okay.
the feeling just lifted off me.
Yeah.
And like I was that low and that deep, and I couldn't, you know, see, I just had enough. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was just at rock bottom in my
Yeah.
life. I was still tortured in every way, and it just the feeling lifted off me.
Spiritual epiphany.
Yeah, listen, that's what I've no doubt. It was nuts because I sat up in the bed and I said, "That's different."
Right,
It
okay.
was that obvious, like,
Wow.
you know, it
Yeah.
wasn't. Oh, you seen the big bright lights?
Yeah, yeah. No,
You know,
Am I going to die?
yeah, fuck, maybe, you know, but like, so I sat up and I was like, shit, I feel different. And then I was that tortured. I was saying, just give me 10 minutes like this. But
Wow.
that feeling of dread, anxiety, everything lifted off me. And I would say my life changed from that day. Everything changed.
Deadly. No.
Now, look, you have to put in work. It's not,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, as I said, addiction will manifest itself. It's between the two ears, and you know, I meditate a lot now.
Okay.
I slow down. I'm more connected with myself. And listen, if the world,
Well, I've seen you like as a different human being now than you were.
Yeah.
Like massively, like, you know, like a totally just way chilled.
Yeah.
And he can sit and chat with you.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
would never have happened
I
before.
must have been, you know, people who say this, they're like, thanks to be best mate.
Yeah.
Thanks to say, You were a pest. Yeah, I'd say, you'd be best mate for 40 years. You were He says you were a pest. He says, go for points, you were a pest. You were gone. You were never there. Yeah, talk to Darius. Where is he?
Yeah, gone. Yeah, I know.
So,
settle. You do seem settled.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's good. And that's good.
It is good.
Yeah, you do meditation every day?
No, not every day. I would do it. Sometimes I can do it every day, and then sometimes I can do it. If I feel, look, I go to fellowships, and I go to NA.
What are the fellowships?
The fellowship is NAGAAA.
Okay, like the meetings, is it?
The meetings, yeah. Meetings are very important.
Yeah, okay.
You have to, meetings are very important. The fellowships, you're connected. Like, addiction is isolation. When you're in addiction, you isolate. The fellowship is connection. And it's like... You want to see some of the stories you see in there of miracles, impossible, lads that on the street for 20 years.
Wow.
Be it crack, be it heroin, be it whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing, no different to me. Addiction is addiction.
Addiction is addiction, it doesn't matter, yeah, for sure.
As I said before, the drug is only the solution, in their mind. It's an emptiness. But you see them, and then you see them either go to treatment or come into the fellowship and do 90 meetings in 90 days and walk a whole program, and you see them a year later, and there's nothing in the world. That's why you have to, when you see stuff like that, you're saying, there's something else at work.
Yeah.
It's because it's impossible. There's nothing. There's no medication. There's nothing in the world can change a person. It's an inside job, really.
Yeah.
Recovery. So yeah, look, you have to put the work in. I hear people saying sometimes in meetings and stuff that, recovery is hard. But for me, addiction is hard. Addiction is hard, and having that racing mind constantly. Always wanting more of whatever it is. And having to find the means and ways to get it.
For sure.
That's tough.
Yeah. Because you're always living on the edge, aren't you?
Always living on the edge. And you nearly love the chaos,
Yeah.
I've had times, it was probably in my 40s where I kind of, my 30s as well, I would have struggled with gambling. But, my life at times over the years was going great and everything was good and things would be going good. And I had a good way of making the balls of it.
Yeah.
I would make an absolute... It's nearly like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oopsie, this is all going well. And then it's like self-sabotage. What can I wreck?
Yeah.
And listen, you hurt people along the way. And that's what, being in recovery, you have to hold yourself accountable for somebody, And it's not nice reliving some of those things.
I wouldn't imagine
no,
it
it's
is.
not.
Yeah.
But you got to be honest with yourself, and some of the things you do, and it can be shameful. And
then there's nope.
No, but listen,
but you have to.
That's the whole thing, and I have to be. For me, I have to be careful. Even with the gym.
Right.
So I've the Kierans like Gina, she's so good, and when I come, she would say to me, I don't want, you're only going to the gym 3 days a week, and I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What has the gym got to do with it? What are you on about?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you'll start going 3 days, then you go 4 days, then 5 days. And so I'd go 3 days, and it's not enough for me. This had to happen for a year. I was 3 days a week.
Okay.
So I'd be there, and Keith Arnold's a very good friend of mine. And
Sean Carroy's
SKF.
Come on.
And without them as well, they've been massive for me, the lads down
it's
there.
a good crew of people down there.
And with addiction, it's people, places, and things. It's like everything in life. If you're with the right people in the right places, doing the right things, you have a chance.
Yeah, for sure.
But so Keith would say, and some of my friends would be taking the piss of me. You can only go to the gym 3 days a week. They couldn't get it. So, but Keith to be making sure that's 1, 2. You were there Monday. You were there Wednesday. You were there Friday. Okay. I say, I need to get just a few little weights on Saturday.
Yeah.
3 is 3. You're not going. End of story. Get out.
No way.
I need people like that to call me out.
Check you out.
Because I will manipulate the life out of them. You know what I mean? And it's obviously not as much today, but you have to try and, but that's where I will stand. I was starting to tell myself, I need to go 4 days. So I was on my way to telling people, what I'm doing. But when I run off my will, so
chaos ensues.
Chaos ensues. Here it comes.
No, but that's cool the way you mention people of that kind of have to. Obviously, Lisa's a big part of that as well, and
And your family, your mum, your dad, you know, my own family, my brother Roy as well has been massive. Yourself, James, Vicky, Ruth, everyone has been, and it's helped. Like it's, you know, I see.
It helps to have a support group around you.
Absolutely, I know. I see lads in rooms and women in rooms, and they've no one behind them, and I've so much admiration for them. You know, because I wanted to go into sobriety and recovering, and I'm sick and tired of I've been sick and tired. I wanted to do it for me. But when you have people behind you, you know, like Lisa and my kids and all your family, my own family, and my close friends, you know, you want to.
Yeah.
It gives me I say, I'm not going to let these people down. It's nearly, you know.
It's a good driving thing for you.
It's massive. Yeah. And I see people in rooms and they're doing it themselves, and I have so much admiration for them.
Yeah, because that would be fucking Jesus.
They've lost a wife, lost a house, lost everything. Nothing. Job, everything. And they still go.
Yeah.
Still do it. But you'd see it changing. You see life's changing. It's a miracle, I'm telling you.
Yeah, mad. That is crazy.
Yeah, so look, it's, you know, it's.
I'm just thinking about that, like having to do that all on your own. Like it would be very difficult.
Very difficult, and as people do it, and again they get the strength from somewhere to do it. You know, look, in some addiction is a disease that will 100% kill you if you don't arrest it.
If you don't,
Be it in whatever way, it will kill you.
Yeah.
You know, it's the only disease in the world that will 100% kill you if you don't arrest it. Because when you die, you're going to die from
what
it might be for years down the line.
Yeah, no,
but
that's eventually it'll catch up to you.
Yeah, it'll get you. Yeah. So, you know, and it's a very serious thing. It's probably scorned upon a lot in Irish society. Like, you know,
I think it's changing though.
It probably is because
everyone has it.
Yeah, but like, you know, even like.
Yeah. But Ireland, I think even as a nation, I think there's what would you call it? Like some kind of national trauma over this country for generations and generations, and I think that's why people, you know, do drink and do shit like that. And
yeah, listen,
you know,
we would say our fathers and our parents, like, you know.
And nothing was ever addressed.
No, but you know what I mean? Dad, I'm going to a bit of cancer. Get yourself together.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You know,
it's
and
like,
it's not that.
He suffers with his nerves or something like that.
My fella's not right in the head.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
You know, but like
there's nothing like.
And it's not because that's their stuff. It was just a different generation, and they done the best with what they had. You know, for us.
Well, that's what I think.
To try and break
definitely.
Obviously, I wanted to try and break the mold, and my family too.
Yeah,
you know.
For sure. Break the generational thing.
Yeah, like addiction is in ways, like, you know, has plagued my family. And I don't know why. Sometimes I think, you know, we grew up in an environment where, you know, there was Fabian, Barry, Damien, me. Then there was a good few years before Derek and Roy. But it was a competitive place, like.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, geez, a lot of boys there. Like, you know
but we used to. It was who was the best at everything. I'm the best at this, and who's. You know, you have a gang of lads in the house. It's just
absolute carnage, man.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I often think, you know.
You needed a sister there to try and balance it all out. You know? Do you know what I mean?
When you're younger and you're dating a girl, and the boys say like. This one, what'll I do? Get rid of it, gone. You know, when you have a sister, go and talk to her.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, it's a way of, we've all, I often think about it, but out of 6 boys, 4 of us were addicted, like, you know, so why? My mother and father weren't addicted, my grandparents. It's funny, it
is strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't, look, it is what it is, there's no point.
Do you think it's more, it is environment?
I don't know.
Or is it in you?
They still don't know. For me, feeling, you know, looking back, I felt that chase since I'm 11, since I'm 10, 9. As far back as I can remember, I've always never been. I've had that dis-ease with myself.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Okay. It's a weird one, isn't it?
You relate to that dis-ease?
No.
No. In fairness, you've well said.
No. Yeah.
You have well said.
I definitely
have to give yourself credit.
Yeah. You know, you like to party a lot. Like that's the thing. And look, I get the feeling. I know the feeling from being like when you're on stage. That feeling's class. You know what I mean? So you're going to be chasing that feeling.
I look like I look at you, and obviously the gigs you play, and the top draw.
Yeah, and then do you know what the thing is? It is the energy, right? So then you're so high on energy that you're awake. You know what I mean? You're not even that you have to drink or any of that, and then you're just like, well, can you get carried away then?
Yeah, and it's like you know, living. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
living.
yeah.
Like
It's that.
it's,
It's
you
like
know.
literally in that zen moment of time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it's class. You
But-
know.
but-
So then you're obviously going to be, oh, jeez, I want to feel like that again. You know.
And now you have an insight into,
Yeah,
you
well,
know, it's all about
the deeper-
feelings.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and addressing it, but I'll keep a few of mine locked up. Thanks. You know, yeah, but well, I had a couple of points there, and they're going out of my head. We're losing the train there. We're going.
Yeah, well, but that's good. That's
Yeah,
good,
no, it is. Yeah, well, this is what it is. It's all about having a lovely chat, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So yes, so you're a year on. What's like one of the biggest things you can take from becoming sober?
It's being present and being grateful.
Yes.
In the day, you know, we always when I get this, all we have is today. And I know people would say we say these things, but when you practice gratitude on a daily basis, you get up in the morning, oh, you hand me day over, bang, you turn to my knees, say a few prayers, hand me day over, and practice gratitude every night for the day I've had. And then every day there's stuff to be grateful for.
Yeah.
You know, even the small things. And, you know, when I do that and I'm grateful and living in gratitude, when you're living in gratitude, you're not living in negative.
So see, when you say gratitude as well, right, and say you're praying, and you know that is, I think that might, you know, make people feel uncomfortable because not everyone.
Yeah,
but-
absolutely. And that was me as
yeah,
well,
do you know. So, but like,
and
say
I would
if
respect.
say for someone who doesn't, whatever, doesn't believe in God, but
Yeah, yeah,
what way can they practice gratitude? Do you
But
think?
gratitude, write down gratitude. I mean, like, so what are you grateful for today? I'm grateful for being sitting here with Dottie. I'm grateful for the cup of tea. There's so many things.
Yeah, so
in your
being
day.
alive.
Yeah, but you're looking, you know, you don't see it. You know, people always want this and I want that, and the worry with social media nowadays, it's, you know, what he's saying and
Yeah.
they liking me and that's all. You're chasing dopamine and all
Yeah,
that too.
for sure,
you know,
yeah.
you're like it's so it's back to you will never find peace in a people, a place, or a thing. You only find it inside.
Okay.
So, but I think by having gratitude, you know, on a daily basis. Listen, I don't care. It's not that I'm in gratitude every day.
Yeah, I know.
There'll be
Yeah,
moments
yeah,
like
yeah,
this,
for sure.
you know, where you're going, well, whatever, you know, and I'm able to pull myself back, you know, where I can start. I stopped practicing gratitude. I stopped practicing gratitude on a daily basis. I stopped going to meetings. Say, my head will start going again. I'll
Okay.
start saying, you know, he's this and fuck that. And,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
that's-
you'll feel it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
creeping
change.
back in.
Like long before I'll ever pick up a bet or a substance or anything, it's a disease of the mind. My
Right.
behaviours will start changing. Next minute he's negative. You'd see it all over me.
Okay.
Long before I'd pick up a substance.
Right. Okay.
So, but you can practice. It's a daily thing, and it being grateful. But this is for the world. Like, for,
Yeah. No, that's what
if
I mean.
the world is living a 12-step program, the world will be a better place. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
telling
For
you.
sure. Yeah.
You know, because you look at yourself. It's an
Yeah,
inside job.
and
You look at
it-
your character defects, and you look at the parts you played. Like the part that I don't. You know, before I'd be blaming Dottie's this and Dottie's that. You know, fuck Dottie. Or I'd play the part I played in that situation, whatever it may be. And that's what doing the 12-step program. It's an inside job, and it's a way of life. You know, but people get scared of it, and I was one of them.
I know,
God,
yeah,
I'm
say
saying,
so.
God, what are you talking?
Yeah.
I can't believe in that, and I didn't see. God has buried three of my brothers.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no God. That was the way I thought, like, you know. But now it's different, and I see. To try and see the beauty in the day and what's in front of
Yeah,
you.
that's nice. That's a nice way to put it, the beauty in the day, because it is essentially that, like.
All we have.
Yeah, yeah, no, it does sound so simple, but then it is actually just the truth, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but you see-
Because we take it for granted.
Yeah, but the Irish way, it's all we have. All we have is today. I'm going mad. I'm going.
Yeah, sun's out. Let's go.
Yeah, sunset, you know, instead of finding the beauty in.
Yeah.
And listen, I never found beauty in stuff like that, you know, or being present. I'm like, what are they talking about? But today I can, thank God, I can meditate, you know.
Yeah.
I used to meditate. I used to sleep. I used to say this to you because you used to meditate, and I'd be gone, boom, gone. The minute I get into it, gone asleep. But that was my brain being exhausted.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah. Just tired.
It was walking. The meditation was walking.
Yeah.
I was saying, that meditation shit, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
But that was, you know, overthinking and overstimulated. And
Oh, that definitely happened to me a few times meditating. You just
Yeah,
fall out
yeah,
of sleep,
fall
like
out
when
of
it gets,
sleep,
especially get
yeah.
nice and relaxed.
But you see, when meditation for me, and I always do gratitude meditation, and I run it, and or even breath walk. it brings you to the now.
Centers.
Because we let our minds run away with ourselves. Don't we? Like, many we worry. 95% of the things we worry about never come to pass. So there's some figure on it, but and as an addict, your mind can go run away.
It's like the thought of anything is nearly worse than the actual thing itself. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot. I'm not too bad at that. Like I'm pretty much like kind of just go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you can see the upside of stuff.
Yeah,
too.
But I definitely know a lot of people that would be like that, worrying and stressing and stuff. It's like, what are you worrying about? Like, you can't control anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
And it's been, and listen, it's human nature. We all
it
do
is.
it as well.
Yeah, it's not saying I'd never worry, but like some people can be over.
Yeah. You can't listen. I think that there's a bit of it in everyone, but it's, if you can pull back to the present and back to today, it's a gift. Like sobriety and recovery is obviously you're abstaining from alcohols and substance and bets, such as the obvious. Physically, you're able to go to the gym. You're more present in work, in home life, in kids, and everything. But it's spiritually what it does for you. It makes you a better person. That is, you can abstain, and then if I just abstain from substances and gambling, I'm staying away from the substance, but if my head is still going, my addicted head is here. It needs to,
Okay,
so
yeah.
That's it, abstaining's not. Or
you have to do both.
Oh yeah, you used to take the drug. No, but that's the magic is in doing the work on yourself.
Yeah, on yourself, for sure.
Because if I wasn't an addict, I'm a grateful addict today. If I wasn't an addict, I'd never be like this.
Yeah, no.
I'd always be a
I'm
sure you're running around the place at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So to get that.
And how do you find social occasions and stuff like that now? Is like, because I'd say that's probably one of the biggest things that people are afraid of as well. Like,
it is. Like when I was told, even I never struggled with drink really, as such. But I drank, but so. When you're at the start, you're thinking it's fear. It's all fear again, overthinking everything.
Yeah,
you're thinking in your head, But the two best weddings I've been ever at in my life, the two weddings where I've had the most fun in my life was this year. Was your wedding with Ruth, and my brother Roy's wedding, and I was sober at both of them. And it's because I was sober.
I was at both of them weddings.
Well, hopefully you're the first one anyway. Like I was. But it was present at both of them, not running in and out and all over the place.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I had a great time. And in fairness, Lisa's brilliant. I say Lisa, 11:30, 12 o'clock.
That's you.
That's us. And she, I would stay if Lisa doesn't want to go. But at that point, and it's not that I'm thinking, I want to drink or I want to do something. It's just I have enough.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've also learned is, when you go out, so we go out, me, you, pick any group of lads, and we can pick some good characters.
Yeah, for sure.
And you go to a pub and you start drinking points or whatever. The first 3 hours are the best part of that night. Everything else after that is tripe.
Tripe, yeah.
So I go for the 3 hours, 2 hours, gone. I've had the same amount of time, couple of sparkling waters, and it's been no issue for me.
Yeah, that's good, because I know, like, I've kind of been on and off drinking stuff like that. I know in my head I was like, the social occasion thing. But then when I found out it's fine.
Yeah.
But like that, it was like, right, a few hours and then I'm out the gap then. I've enough of that.
Yeah, you get enough and people
you have enough,
are. But, like, I will talk to people like yourself. I'd be social anyway. I'm not backward about coming forward. And that helps, what I mean?
It does.
Where you're not afraid of a conversation with someone. Or, some people, I never needed drink. Some people need drink to talk to people and to come out of their comfort zone, where I was probably a bit of a niche on drink. Not that I wasn't. I was probably less talkative and what I mean? No, less crack.
In the corner,
in the corner. Look at him over there. What are you looking at?
Yeah. You're a dick. You're a
What's he looking at? No, but I would say, listen, I've been out many times. There's great crack. Some great crack to be had with points as well. But for me, I don't. It's not. I haven't. It's not like it's so. I'm so in sobriety and recovery. But I miss them nights. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. You give a
Genuinely
shit.
don't care.
Yeah. Well, like, how many of them do you actually remember? In a way, like the weddings, obviously, like a wedding, you would, but like, say the nights, like random
It's
nights.
funny, like when you when
Although we've had some great conversations.
we did.
Yeah, no, we did.
But after the first
After
probably
the
45
first.
minutes, I think we said it again.
Yeah, and again, and again, and again.
And then the next night we done the same thing for 5 hours.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But yeah, look, I've no issue with it, and people go out and can have a drink and have pints and crack, and the best of luck to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for me, I've just found, I was afraid, oh, jeez, I can never get out again with the boys, or, but it's not like that at all.
No, it's not.
And again, myself and I love spending time with my wife and kids as well, and that helps.
Yeah, no, and you definitely seem like you're a new man. But we're coming to the end. But before we are, it's like, what guidance could you give to people who might think that they have a problem, and what do you think they should do, or any good advice you could give of where to go, even, or who to?
You listen, you can go. There's plenty. It depends obviously what you're struggling with. Be a substance, be a gambling. The fellowships, GA, AA, NA, are fantastic. The Red Door is probably the place to go. We can put you in touch with every kind of, there's meetings on in every town all over the country.
Yeah.
You go anywhere in Ireland, there's NA, GA, AA, CA. There's meetings everywhere. So my advice to anyone, if you're struggling, just hold your hands up.
Yeah.
Hold your hands up. That's the hardest part, is to surrender. And it's only ego. The ego is the edge and God. It will kill you.
Oh.
The ego.
Is
That's what they say.
that what they say?
Edge and God. Good one, isn't it?
That is a good one, actually.
Yeah. Be it God or be it your spirituality.
Yeah, whatever it might be. Yeah.
It's
Jeez, that never clicked with me now at all.
You'll be careful on the stage now, Stephen.
Check the ego, don't you? Check the ego.
Yeah. No, listen.
Love me.
The showman has to come out.
Yeah, absolutely. It only comes out once a year, for fuck's sake.
No, but like it's people need to just.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy for me sitting here a year down the line.
Well, it's not easy.
No,
and it's not easy for you, man, to come on and talk about this either as well, because you would, like, you know what I mean? I respect that a lot.
Yeah, but it is what it is. There's no point,
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think
if I can help someone,
yeah,
my ego wouldn't let me come on there because I don't want people to think less than of me. But that's all. It doesn't matter. It's all. At
least the home biting on nails.
But it's all shy because I am who I am, and the people close to me and my family, including yourself and your own family, my close friends know and have been there through this journey with me. So, like, if I can help one person, or if anyone wants to even reach out that is struggling through, yourself or the page, get in contact with me and I can put them on because what was freely given to me, that's the gift of it. You have to give it back.
Yeah, for sure.
Keeps you, and that helps. It's a whole thing. It's a fellowship. It's amazing. Some of the things you see are insane,
Wow.
But listen, there's hard luck stories. There's people that break away and die.
Yeah.
It's a real thing, addiction.
It's a thing. I think you just have to, really have to be determined in yourself, do you?
But they call it the gift of desperation.
Okay.
You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. The gift of desperation, and people talk about a rock bottom, and everyone's rock bottom is different. But there's rock bottom and there's the trap door. The trap door is the graveyard.
Oh yeah.
And I think my own experience of that, and it's heartbreaking, and it will get you, but just if anyone's struggling, talk to someone, reach out, and there is hope out there.
And if you like, say if someone might feel they don't want to go to any of the like bigger kind of organisations, maybe just reach out to a counsellor.
Counsellor, there's counselling if you can't. There's help there, if you go to whatever, the Red Door, reach out to any of the fellowships. There's people, that's loads of sobriety behind them, and they're so. You go into a room full of people that's in sobriety and recovery. They're the greatest people I've ever met in my life, in terms of everyone in that room wants the best for you.
Yeah, okay.
Like genuinely hugging you. There's a love and an affection from them, and they want the best for you, to general public, like,
Yeah.
I hope he's doing all right, but not too well. No, and I don't mean that like in
no, I
the
know what you
people,
mean, yeah.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is genuine because it's a room of people that's been brought to their knees by addiction, and somehow are still there to tell the tale, and they know, but they've had the gift of desperation, and getting one day, be it one day clean, or a year or 20 years, you're never free of it.
Yeah.
You always it's always there.
It's a daily battle. It's a daily
It's a
thing.
daily
isn't it?
thing.
It's a daily
It's a
thing.
daily program, and it's a daily thing. It never leaves you.
Yeah.
It can be arrested, and it's a great way of life. There's no doubt. Sobriety and recovery is a brilliant way to live. I have to say, it's been. But if you're struggling, just reach out, get it out there. There's no point. It's only your own thoughts again that we start thinking, well, I want to say this, I want to say that, I want to do that, instead of just bang, hold your hands up and surrender. There's freedom in the surrender.
Nice, man. And finally, are we going to be getting back into football yourself? The people are asking, DK. The people are asking.
No, look, yeah.
Or can you have to step away from that for?
No, I kind of stepped away from it. Obviously the Harley's playing with St. Kevin's and Jadens with Geordie United under 15s. I've been involved with Geordie United. Not been involved, sorry. I've done some sessions with the underage teams. Done a bit of help out where I can with a couple of different things. And I'm quite happy in my life.
Happy out.
Yeah. Do I miss football? Yeah. I do. But again, otherwise, I'm playing a game of football, or we're playing on any given weekend, and I'm analysing games, and I'm home watching the game, and did a little, and I'd like to think of a good mind for it, so I can set up a team. Then this is the way we're going to do, and this is how we're going to execute it, and then we execute it, and then we win. It's that feeling again.
There you go.
but like it's not. I
no.
can't. I've learned to live with. That's like saying eating the biscuits or the Netflix show.
Yeah.
I have learned to live with it. I'm a different person now. But you know what? Maybe my age is gone.
Yeah.
That's,
I know. Yeah.
I can see the game at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah. Look, I will get back probably next year, I would say.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying.
You're enjoying where you
sometimes
are right
if it's
now.
not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
as
for
well.
sure.
I'm not in a rush, and
Yeah.
if it's something I went back into something that just wasn't right, I wouldn't. It's not right. You know? So, but look, life is good. It's been.
I'm happy to hear that, and I'm sure everyone who knows you is very happy to hear that and see you doing very well. Last, who's going to win the Premiership this year?
Arsenal all day.
All day long. Yeah. No, I think so.
They're very good defensively. They're very good. Not nice to watch. But they've adopted to the way the
They're
Premier
not nice
League.
to watch, aren't they?
No,
They're a horrible
horrible.
team to watch.
Horrible.
Oh, that's for you, Noli.
Is that Nolly? Oh yeah, I know a few Arsenal fans. And they're going to be happy with it, but they will win the league this year. I don't think the Champions League. I think they get found out. I think Liverpool could go deep in the Champions League.
They always do all right there, don't they?
Liverpool have 8 out, 7 in. Like it's people. You take 7 players out of any squad in the world and replace them, no matter how good they are.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think United.
Be tipping away.
I think they're a couple of players short, just a couple short.
Yeah.
But I like the attack. I like Brahim.
Yeah, he's class, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah, he's so good.
yeah, and Mount just seems to come back to himself. And
Yeah,
they're
no,
about-
their attack I think is great. I think they're gelling a bit better.
yeah, and he looks so.
I'm happy for Amron because I wanted him to do well. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
listen. I'm a Liverpool fan, but
He talks the talk, doesn't he?
I like Man United. I don't like Man United in 6th, 7th, and 8th. I like them just in 5th or 4th.
Well, the world needs a good Man United. You know
But
what I mean?
football
The
needs a good Man.
needs
It's
a
not
good
the
Man
same.
United.
And if you win a Premier League without United being up there, it doesn't.
Yeah,
they are
yeah.
the second biggest club in the world after
Yeah,
Liverpool.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, Darius, I'm going to leave it there. And thanks very much for coming in and sharing your story. And yeah, I'm looking forward then for the world to hear it. Well, whoever listens.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, thanks very much,
No,
man.
it's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks
my
very much.
man. All right.
From that day, we share cafe lattes. Cafe.